Hello. Welcome to this shorter targeted practice for today. We'll be working specifically with the hips and hamstrings, primarily stretching, a little bit of strengthening. So, you may wish to have some blocks or a blanket or some pillows, any other tools you might like to support your practice, but really all you need is a space, maybe a mat, and your body. So, let's go ahead and begin. Find whatever is a comfortable enough seat for you. Let your legs be heavy. Let your spine get tall, ears, shoulders, hips all in one straight line. Relax your face and eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out your mouth. 2 more breaths just like that. One Om to begin. Inhale. Now allow your awareness to come into your body and to your breathing. Feel your breath moving into, through, and out of the body. No pulling or pushing or forcing, just allowing the breath to move at its rhythm and pace. And we're just observing. Then we'll use the breath within the body just a little bit. So when you inhale, see if you feel a little bit of space being created. That might be in the belly or the chest. When you exhale, where can you soften? Maybe the face, the shoulders, or the belly again. Take several breaths like this, using your breath to help you find space and to let go. And we'll let this be the foundation of our asana practice moving forward. If you'd like to take a moment first to set an offering or intention or say a personal prayer, go right ahead. And then tuck that away into your heart. And let's come standing at the front of the mat. Hands are at heart center. Feet are parallel-ish. They can be very close together or up to hip width distance apart, however you feel most stable. Pressing down through your feet, lift up through your kneecaps, lift through your belly, your sternum, the base of the skull. Let your shoulders relax, sitting bones be heavy. May all beings everywhere benefit from our practice together today. Om Shanti. On an inhale, reach forward and up overhead. And you can begin to move here. So we'll do one sun salutation with plenty of movement. I invite you to come back to that work with the breath, even as we move. So when you inhale with the arms lifted, where can you feel a little more space? What can soften with your out breath? On your next inhale, press down through your feet, reach up through your fingers. On the exhale, engage the belly, bend the knees, and fold. Uttanasana. Let your head go. You could, of course, bring the floor up to meet your hands with blocks, or maybe you have your elbows clasped in your hands, or maybe you even have your elbows resting on your knees if that feels better for your back. Wherever you're working, feel free again to find some movement. That might be bending your knees, wagging your hips, moving in your head and neck. Let's bend the knees until the hands touch the mat and step your right foot back, lowering the right knee down for a low lunge. Now you could let this be a static stretch, shoulders back, hips sinking, chest gently pulling forward. Or if you like, you could bring a little bit of movement. We've introduced some compression into the left belly. So how does your breath move into the body here? And where can you soften as you breathe out? On an exhale, we'll release, placing both hands down, stepping back to a plank pose. Your plank could be on your toes, it could be on your knees. Regardless, ears are in line with shoulders, shoulders in line with hips, hips in line with knees. Breathe in here. On the exhale, engage the belly, float your knees down, pull your elbows back, chest and chin come forward and down. And then release, untuck the toes and come up for a baby cobra pose, or if you prefer, coming on the forearms for Sphinx. Either way, you could treat it as a static posture, just tuning into your breathing, or you could bring some movement. Can you anchor a little more through your hips? Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, release. Press back into downward facing dog, curling the toes, lifting the hips, sinking the chest and the heels, and moving here. Now, if down dog does not work for you, feel free to lower to hands and knees for cat-cow, or even sink back from there to a child's pose. Your choice. And if you're working in downward facing dog, remember we pull the shoulder blades away from the spine and away from the ears, armpits facing in, ears in line with biceps. How can you find a little space here? Where can you soften? Let's step the right foot front and lower the left knee down. Low lunge second side as before. You can, of course, use any tools you like, bringing the floor up to meet your hands, bringing padding under your back knee, whatever you need. And it could be stillness, that's what you need, or movement. And then we'll step the left foot forward to meet the right, coming into Uttanasana. Knees are bent, head and neck totally relaxed. Let's inhale halfway up to a flat back and exhale all the way down. On the inhale, we'll reach forward and up, coming all the way up. And exhale the hands back to heart center. Feel your breath right there behind your thumbs. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, engage the belly and fold. Now take a couple breaths here, maybe bending one knee and then the other with the upper body completely relaxed. Starting to stretch a little more into the hamstrings, maybe into the low back. And then let's bend both knees until the hands touch the mat. This time, step your left foot back, lower the left knee down, untuck the left toes. You could, of course, bring padding under that knee. Both hands come inside the right foot and heel toe that right foot out, turning the toes out on an angle, just giving yourself a little more room. Now, if there's any kind of knee injury on the right side, keep the knee stacked directly over the ankle. If the right knee is healthy and it would feel nice, you could explore some side to side, front to back movement. If you're keeping that knee directly over the ankle, you can still work to square your chest forward and let the hips sink down, stretching through the belly. Let's turn the chest forward. Inhale, lift the gaze. And exhale, release. We'll heel toe that right foot back through to center. Hands can flank the front foot either on the mat or on blocks. And if you prefer to curl your back toes under here, you can. We'll start to shift the hips back and forth, pressing into the right heel. And then next time you come back, we'll pause here, maybe wiggle the right heel forward a bit. Again, hands could be on blocks here. And you could move in your hips. You could move in the right foot. Try to keep your face and jaw relaxed. You might exhale out the mouth. See if that helps towards that goal. And this might be just the stretch that you need for your hamstrings. If you know you like to get that IT band area stretch, come with me. We'll flex the right foot, roll the right outside edge of your foot towards the mat so we get external rotation in the whole right leg, and then gently squeeze your thighs together. And you might stay right here. If you wish, you could take your hands around with you to the right, continuing to squeeze the thighs together, maybe letting the head go. Now, even here, where can you find some space when you breathe in? Where can you soften when you exhale? Let's stay here. One more full breath cycle, wherever here is for you. And then on an inhale, if you've gone to the right, we'll unwind back through center and bring the hands front, curl the back toes, step back to a plank pose. And again, that plank could be on the toes or the knees. Same concepts apply. We're pressing the mat away, shoulder blades pulling down the back and away from the spine. Breathe in. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. And on the belly, inhale, lift up. Exhale, shoulders stay down. Curl the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog, or your choice of resting pose. Let's step the left foot front. Bring the right knee down, untucking the right toes, and heel toe the left foot out to the left. Same caution applies if there's any kind of knee injury or issue. Let that determine whether you move or keep it a little more still. Even if your body isn't moving at all, you can still work with your breath. Keeping the jaw soft. And then square the chest forward. Inhale, pull the chest forward, lift the gaze. Exhale, release, heel toe the left foot back in line with the left hip. Bring the left hand outside the foot, either to the mat or to a block, and we'll start to shift back and forward, bending and straightening the left knee. Now it's really easy to scrunch up in the shoulders here. Let's try not to do that. So keep pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Your range of motion may be different than mine. It may be different on the second side than on the first. That's okay. Just stay with your breath. See how you can use your breath. Next time you come back with the left leg straighter, stay there if you like. Maybe you wiggle your left heel forward a little bit, and you could find some movement here. Wagging the hips, twisting through the hips, moving the left foot. And then you could stay here or move towards that stretch for the IT band area, flexing the left foot, rolling to the pinky edge, external rotation of the whole left leg, but then squeezing the thighs together. Relax your jaw. And you could stay here or walk your hands around to the left, any amount. Again, continuing to squeeze the inner thighs together. And on an inhale, we'll come back through center, shift the hips forward, bending the straight knee, bending the front knee, curl the back toes under and step back to plank. You could go straight to down dog here or come with me, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Think about reaching your heels down. Now, if your heels are completely flat on the mat, I invite you to maybe walk your feet back a little bit without moving your hands. And then see if you can find that reach. And then can you send your hips back and up? Not just up, but back. Now, if you would like, you could lift your right leg up here. Move through your hips some. Try to keep your weight equally distributed between your two hands. And then let's pull that right knee forward for a pigeon preparation. Now, if this does not work for your knees, come onto your back like so, crossing the right leg in a figure 4 shape. If you are forward, feel free to use whatever tools you have around to make this pose work for you. So sometimes you might bring some padding underneath this right hip. You might bring some padding underneath your right shin. Let's inhale, lift the chest if you're here with me, and exhale, fold forward any amount. Now you could bring a block or some pillows underneath your forehead or your torso. If you're on the back, feel free to bring any movement you like. If you're folded forward, maybe focus a little bit more on finding some space and letting go. Jaw is relaxed. Eyes relaxed. Feel your breath in your body. Let's do about 2 more breaths here. If you're on the back, you can come with me for the full transition over to the other side, or you could simply switch your legs if you prefer. If you're folded forward, we'll begin to lift the upper body. Take your time. Now, if you would like a little core work on our way back to downward facing dog, copy me. Curl the left toes under, shoulder blades pull down the back, armpits face in. Engage the belly, lift the back knee, lift your right leg in a modified plank. Hold here, breathe in. Exhale, reach that right leg up. And then place the right foot down, downward facing dog. And then we'll lift the left leg, moving here. You could certainly do this from hands and knees. And then we'll bring the left knee forward, pigeon preparation, second side. Same option available to you to come onto the back if this arrangement doesn't work for you. We're using gravity quite a bit to stretch into the outer hip. So if that causes any pinching or sharp sensation around your knee or hip, by all means, come on the back, take gravity out of the equation. Same as the first side, feel free to use tools to make this pose work for you. And then if you are upright, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Again, feel free to bring your forehead to a block, or maybe it comes all the way down. Maybe exhale out the mouth. If you're on the back, feel free to move your legs closer to you, further away, side to side. If you're folded forward, we're working more with gravity. Letting go of any bracing against gravity with each exhale. We'll be here about 3 more breaths. And if you're on the back again, you could meet us in downward facing dog. If you're folded forward, we'll come up. And again, you can go straight to down dog or down dog split, or you can come with me for that tiny little bit of core work, curling the right toes, shoulders down, armpits face in, push into the hands, lift through the belly. And then down dog split, lifting the left leg. And downward facing dog. Take about 3 breaths here, moving through the hips and knees. And then let's lower the knees. Take the knees wide, sink back, extended child's pose. You could turn your palms up here if you like. You might exhale out the mouth. And then let's walk the hands in to lift the upper body and release your legs. We'll come seated for a spinal twist. So cross-legged position, if that's accessible to you. Otherwise, you could have your legs out in front of you. Let's inhale tall. Exhale, twist to your right hand beside or behind, left hand in front of you or across. Anchor through both sitting bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And on an inhale, come back through center, lift up. Exhale, go left. Shoulders down. How do you feel some space here when you inhale? Where can you soften with the out breath? And inhale back through center, lift up tall again. Exhale, hands down beside or behind you. Gently squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest. And release. Let's come onto the back. Bent knees, feet flat. Arms down beside you, wiggling your shoulder blades in towards the spine. Press into the feet. Inhale, lift your hips. Back of the neck long, engaging the glutes. Breathe here. Can you soften your face and your eyes when you exhale? Find a little space in your chest and belly when you breathe in. And then with your next exhale, slowly roll down. When your hips touch, you could hug your knees in. And then let's come lying back for Shavasana. Feel free to bring some padding underneath your knees if your low back's feeling a little pinchy. Arms come down beside the body, palms turn up. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Now begin to feel all the places where your body touches the mat or floor beneath you. If that's really challenging, you might just do a little shift, a little wiggle, and then that can kind of help us tune into those points of contact. Now, with every exhale, see if you can soften into those places a little bit more. Getting heavier and heavier. With every exhale. You might even feel as though your physical body is melting. And eventually, you can just let your body rest here, heavy and relaxed. Now slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your breathing in your body. With every inhale, see if you can start to feel some space, a sense of lightness, expanding out the entire body. Maybe you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes or take a stretch overhead. Feel like you could roll to one side and come back up to sitting. And once again, feel your breath in your body. Feel the space it can create. Feel the release it can cause. So you always have your breath with you to help you practice. We'll conclude with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering, including ourselves, and may we be receptive to the grace that surrounds us. Thank you so much for sharing your practice and for taking time to take care of yourself. Om Shanti. See you next time.